So, this episode is going to be all about, let me see, because I don't actually know, Switch by Chip Heath, or Heath, I'm not quite sure, I'm very sorry, and then Heath. But I think it is Heath, it's probably not going to be Heath, but yeah, this is what we're going to go through today. It is again a book, and it is again a book notes article, basically by Derek Sivers, and I think it is a really interesting book, basically actually about psychology. But yeah, there's gonna be more after the intro, as always. And I'm amazingly fucking happy to sit here and record this episode because I really like to do that. I really like to talk to my imaginative or imaginary audience, because I don't have an audience yet, but maybe it's gonna work out. Maybe it's gonna be just a change in the future. But I just like to talk about these things. Like I just, on some days, of course, it's not such a wonderful thing, but most often it is really something that I'm happy about to do actually, and that I'm able to do that because I'm having the fucking gear. Like, of course, you could be doing it with whatever PC and with whatever microphone and whatnot. My microphone is my fucking iPhone 5S, by the way. And you can do such a lot of things with these quote-unquote old things that you're having, but I'm also having a MacBook because of school, and it just really is a great help. And every single day I'm actually saying thinking, I'm actually really happy and grateful that I'm actually having such a computer and that I'm having this opportunity, and that I've also started that I've also started this whole journey like 2 years ago or something. But yeah. But I also hope that I'm going to be able to just show you something that's amazing for you. And I really hope that I'm, in the end, going to really be able to just make something that's hopefully helping somebody to maybe change, help somebody out in some way. I don't even care in which way. But I do just hope that it is going to help somebody, whatever I'm doing. All these episodes and all these things that I've been talking about. I do hope that I am going to, in the future, be a particular person that people listen to, just because I know that this is one of the best ways to just change people. If you're having people that are listening to you, then of course, they're gonna just use your words, kinda, and they're gonna just think about your words, kinda, and then they're maybe just gonna change something. But yeah, I do just really, I'm going to talk about it later on. So if you want to just listen to this episode, because it actually is a podcast, then please check out the links in the description. It should be the first or the second link. But also, if you're on a podcast already and you feel like, actually having the YouTube video would be kind of nice, then please check also out, I think, the second or the first link. I'm not quite sure. I should actually check that for once, but, it is what it is. Sometimes it is just what it is, The second thing is the notes. As you're then going to see in the episode, and also when you're just having a look at the article, I've highlighted certain parts of the article just for me, because it is easier to go through then, but also in terms of being able to summarize all these things then and put them into a PDF. In this case, I'm probably only going to do this in the end of the book, and sometimes and quite often I'm forgetting about it. So it might take a while, or it might also be just in advance. So just having a look at the Google Drives folder that is linked also down in the description is always a good idea, because it is for free. You can just download these PDFs. You can also print them. Should be quite fine, I guess, in terms of quality and whatnot. And yeah, if you want to, it is for free. You don't have to pay anything for that. So yeah, the third and the last one is music. If you're willing to have some background music, and especially personalized background music, which means, okay, it's not too silent, it's not too loud. You can choose the genre, you can choose whatever. You can do that. It's the fourth link, probably. It's not the third one. It is the third section, but fourth link, I guess. Because in the first section, there are two links. But anyway, let's actually go through this amazing article. This is really fucking amazing article. And as you can see, it's again from Derek Sivers, as I've told you, from the sivers.org site /book/whatever. I do wonder. I think I've always written it the wrong way. Like I've probably been like sivers.com. But it is not sivers.com. It's sivers.org. But yeah, anyway, Switch by Chip Heath and then Heath. ESPN. I'm actually going to tell you the ESPN because it might be kind of relevant to you. 03855287552. The date he read it was 2010 and the 10th of... I think it is... I'm always actually having quite a difficult time with reading dates that are not in my format, because we're in Austria, which is in Europe, by the way. It's not Australia, Austria. It is, we're having the 4th of February, and we're going to write it 02 period 04. No, the wrong way. Fuck. No, we I don't even know how to use my own fucking format, but we are going to write it the following way: 04.02.2020. So it's going to be like the 4th of February 2020. And often I'm also seeing it that it in English speaking countries, and I think it's primarily in America the case, so in the United States. I don't know if it is the case in Canada as well. Probably. I know it's probably also the case, but so that it is just switched, that you're not going to write the 4th of February, but you're going to write the 2nd of 4th, kinda. It's kind of just switched. And, well, yeah. Long story short, this book is about, and this book actually is, as he has also rated it, 9 out of 10. It's great psychology book about real ways to make change last, both personal and organizational. So many powerful insights based on fact and not theory. Inspiring, counterintuitive stories of huge organizational change against all odds, and highly recommended for everyone. Which is actually great to hear, that it is a really good book. And as you can see, these are the highlights, and these highlights are going to be down in this free PDF that you can download. And I hope, by the way, that I'm going to be able to just go through everything that I've highlighted today, which is always, and also a struggle as well, because sometimes I'm too fast and sometimes I'm too slow, and I do kind of have to adapt these things while I'm in the episode. But anyway, people with the large buckets ate 53%. You have to think about it. 53% more popcorn than people with the medium size, which means bigger container is more eating, which is something that I think just makes sense. But on the other hand, I do not think that it is about the bucket, that people are generally eating quite a lot when they are watching something, because it's probably also something that you have also seen, that when you are watching a movie, not necessarily in the cinema or in the movies, but also when you're at home, if you're eating something while you're watching something, you're just gonna eat more. I think it is just because, and I might have also heard that, but I'm not quite sure about that, because when you're eating something, and you're just really grabbing your attention and you're really focusing on eating something, then you're going to eat less because you're focusing on it. But if you're not focused on it, which is totally the case in a cinema, and which is totally the case if you're just watching a series, or if you're watching just whatever while you're eating something, then you're not focused, You're not focused. You're not focused on eating, and therefore you also don't know when you have had enough, kinda. As far as I actually know, but, I don't know. But in the end, just changing your bucket size is just gonna do a huge thing. Yeah, even though it is about the cinema and the action itself and whatnot, and not about the cup of popcorn or the bucket, but in the end, just changing the bucket size is gonna make things better. Imagine that someone showed you the data from the popcorn eating study, but didn't mention the bucket size. A public health expert studying the data alongside you would likely get very worried about the gluttons or glutens. Is it from gluten? Gourmands. Gourmand is overeater, binge eater, big eater, informal pig. Oh, informal pig. Greedy pig, hog, gannets. Well, anyway. We need to motivate these people to adopt healthier snacking behaviors, so let's find out how to show them the health hazards of eating so much. But wait a second. If you want people to eat less popcorn, the solution is pretty simple. Give them a smaller bucket. And then that's quite it. And this is a fundamental thought that is gonna just go through the whole book, basically, or that is gonna lead us through the whole book, kinda, in some way. But yeah, you don't have to worry about their knowledge or their attitudes. You can see how easy it would be to turn an easy change problem, shrinking people's buckets, into a hard change problem, which is convincing people to think differently. And that is the first surprise about change. It is gonna be easy, kinda. What looks like a people problem is often a situation problem. So it might not be about you, even though it is totally about you, because you are not capable of just not eating bad shit, kinda, in the end. But changing your situation might also work. This is what I'm at least saying there, changing the situation of, okay, I'm not gonna just take the XXL bucket or the biggest bucket they have, the medium one or the big size or the, what is it called? Isn't there a name for super size? Isn't there super size or something? I just know it because of the documentary Super Size Me, which I don't know how often I've just first of all heard about it just a million times. But in the end, it is about the situation. It is about the circumstances. But in the end, yes, which is something that I've been talking about often before, only because the situation is a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that you have to react to a certain situation in a certain way. Just because you've had an accident doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be angry at the person that maybe caused the accident. Not necessarily, Nobody says that you have to do that. It's not about just crying and whatnot, this is something that I think we're just doing. Maybe, on the other hand, we're also hardwired to do so. I don't know. Could also be the case. If you're contemplating a change, the elephant is the one who gets things done. To make progress towards a goal, whether it is noble or crass, requires the energy and drive of the elephant. And this strength is the mirror image of the rider's great weakness, spinning his wheels. The rider tends to overanalyze and overthink things. And I'm just willing to reread this once again because it is a fundamental thing once again. So the elephant and rider metaphor from Happiness Hypothesis. Is it a book? I don't know. Should have checked that. I really should have. So if you're contemplating a change, the elephant is the one who gets things done. To make progress towards a goal, whether it is noble or crass. Whatever crass means, it means intensive, stupid, blundering, dense, thick, vacuous, or vacious, whatever, mindless, witless, doltish, anyway. So, whether it is noble or crass requires the energy and drive of the elephant. And this strength is the mirror image of the rider's great weakness. Spinning his wheels, the rider tends to overanalyze and overthink things, which is not going to be good for the rider. So, the rider provides the planning and direction, and the elephant provides the energy. When the elephant really wants something, the rider can be trusted to find rationalizations for that or for it. What I really think it is a metaphor for the brain and or the mind and the body. For me, the elephant is the body, kind of obviously. It has the energy and you can do something with your body. And if your mind is okay, you should be doing this, but your body says no, fuck you, then there's not going to change anything. There's not going to happen any fucking thing. In the end, it's about our body. But on the other hand, the rider is the mind, which really gives the planning and direction and analyzes quite a lot of shit. But I do maybe want to look that up because I'm not quite sure. This is just what I think. The elephant and the rider. Heath says that our emotional side is the elephant and our rational side is the rider. Well, yeah. I wasn't quite right there, I guess. But I actually thought about that, kinda. I don't know why I've came up with body and mind. And I also wonder, when I was just in a train reading through this, I thought there's a lot of ways I could just go around that metaphor. So I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so it is about the emotional side and our rational side. Even though we are so fucking irrational, if you really have a look at that, it really is kind of insane. We are still kind of rational, or there's still a rational part that is going to be activated in certain circumstances. I actually do have to plug in my PC. I should, Every now and then I come across a metaphor that really sticks and helps me think differently about something I see every day. The two systems, the emotional and rational side. Our brain has two sides, two systems at work, an emotional side and a rational side. Then and chip right. I have to plug in my PC really quickly. Please don't die. This wouldn't be that of a nice thing, but it would also be what it is. Sometimes things are how they are, and sometimes things, sometimes it is what it is, But I'm actually going to read what they say about Dan and Chip, because it is also, I don't want to say obviously, because it's not always obvious. The conventional wisdom in psychology, in fact, is that the brain has two independent systems at work at all times. First, there's what we call the emotional side. It is the part of you that is instinctive, that feels pain and pleasure. Second, there is the rational side, also known as the reflective or conscious system. It is the part of you that deliberates and analyzes and looks into the future. Yeah. I think it is actually really good. And also the elephant and rider thing, as he also pointed out. By the way, I'm gonna highlight this one so that you also have it. And I'm also gonna highlight parts of this. So I think it is actually pretty good metaphor, since if you're thinking about it, if you think about a rider and an elephant, the elephant is a really huge fucking thing, which means that also our emotional side is gonna be a huge fucking thing, but they need to play together. And sometimes our rational side is pretty strong, but most often our emotional side is really fucking strong. But if we only had the emotional side, then I think it wouldn't also be working, because like if you're just doing whatever your emotions or instincts and or whatever are saying, then I don't know, we would kill each other just massively, I'd say. I think. I don't know, but I would say. So yeah, let's actually go back to the article or to the book notes. When the elephant really wants something, the rider can be trusted to find rationalizations for it. Yes, if you really feel like I want to have something, then of course you can tell yourself a pretty great story that it is fine to smoke your fucking cigarette or something, or that it is fine to drink that beer or to whatever it is going to be about. We can do that. The rider has its own issues, or his own issues. He's a navigator, an analyzer, a wheel spinner. If the rider isn't sure exactly what direction to go, he tends to lead the elephant in circles. Which is actually, as I went through it, I didn't really get the whole metaphor because I was actually wrong. But if you think about it, what he's saying there is that if the rider, which is the rational side of the brain, if this part is confused, then you're also going to be confused emotionally, kinda. And I'm just trying to see what it is the case. I'm just trying to find some what are they called? Examples, right? Well, anyway, to change behavior, you got to direct the rider, motivate the elephant, and shape the path. If you can do all that three at once, dramatic change will happen. Yeah, of course, if there's an emotional reason why you should also be doing that, and the rational one, which is okay, it makes sense, it is healthy, and it maybe feels good, it is a lot of pleasure, you're gonna fucking do that. Because it's win-win-win. And if it is easy, but they're talking about it, I think right now even. So when people try to change things, they are usually thinking or tinkering with behaviors that have become automatic, which makes everything a little bit more difficult since it's automatic. The bigger the change you're suggesting, the more it will sap people's self-control, and when people exhaust their self-control, what they're exhausting are the mental muscles needed to think creatively, to focus, to inhibit their impulses, and to persist in the face of frustration or failure. In other words, they are exhausting precisely the mental muscles needed to make a big change. Yes, so if it is a really huge and basically also difficult path, it is kind of difficult. On the other hand, you might also think there's a lot of people that are just doing a lot of things in their day. Let's, for example, think about Gary Vaynerchuk. Let's think about Elon Musk. Let's actually think about a lot of CEOs. They're having to do such a lot of things. And also people that are having a lot of things privately that they're doing, whether it is meditating, eating healthy, working out, taking cold baths, being in the sauna, giving a fuck about your nutrition, and all those things. Like, I might have just, doubled a thing, but I'm not quite sure. But in the end, it is automatic. And I think it is the best thing our brain and body is doing so that it is not going to be fucking exhaustive. If something is automatic, it is not going to be that exhaustive. I think this is also one of the reasons why I'm able to do so fucking much, because it is already automatic. I know that I'm having to do this every fucking single day. I'm used to it. And I would also say, maybe I'm just able to kind of just maximize the time in my day, because I'm actually using a huge portion of my day to just do whatever I'm doing, like making the posts, talking to you, but in the end, it is just automated. I'm just doing it. And I think if I would have to think about it constantly, I don't know, about everything that I have to do and whatnot. I don't know. Like sometimes, of course, I'm forgetting about some things, obviously. I do, and sometimes I also give a fuck about that. Yesterday I've actually forgotten about two things, I guess. First of all, TikTok, which is something that I should not be forgetting about, by the way. And the other thing is, what it is called, I think LinkedIn. I think I've forgotten about LinkedIn, but sometimes it is what it is. I'm juggling quite a lot of things, and there's gonna be some things that I'm not gonna think about. But yeah, knowledge does not change. I think, yeah, this is gonna be the last one that I'm gonna talk about, because the next one is like something a little tiny bit different. So let's actually kind of try to do that. Well, yeah. Knowledge does not change behavior. We all encounter crazy shrinks and obese doctors and divorced marriage concealers. Or concealers. It's not a concealer, I guess, but yeah, I know that as well. And especially I think it is a strange thing. Especially, for example, if you're a personal trainer and you're overweight, then like I don't know if it is gonna be that good for your business if you're a personal trainer and overweight. But yeah, it really is not there is a correlation, I think, between knowledge and doing something about that. A small one, kinda. But I think not necessarily. Like I'm quite fit, I'd say, but I'm definitely just not a fucking. But I'm also not gonna be, I guess. Well, but maybe, who knows? But I think I'm not gonna be a personal trainer or something. I think I'm not gonna be a nutritionist, even though it is something that I'm quite interested in. But I don't think so. Kinda, it is also the other hand or the other just side. But yeah, I think that this is going to be the end of the episode, and I hope that you've liked it. I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that I'm going to see you the next time. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, which basically means just being a good person and then being remembered as a good person. Not remained or reminded, but remembered as a good person. 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea. And yeah, with that being said, I'll hopefully see you the next time. So, bye.